Hello my friends, it's Danny D here in the swamp. Turning out to be a nice day, and I thought I'd give you my opinion on what I think of the new Disney Star Wars. Now the first movies, all 6 of them, I've seen in the theaters, at least once. The prequels, I did only see them once. As for A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and Empire, I've seen those multiple times in the theaters. And speaking of that, as for Rian Johnson's opinion on Empire being bad, let me explain something to you. I realize you were only 6 or 7 at that time. Mommy was probably still letting you only watch My Little Pony and not G.I. Joe, but here's the rub of it. That was in the theaters, I do believe, 3 times. The second running, which was in the summertime, my cousin and I, we went and saw that movie 35 times. Why did we go see it that many times? And the theater was usually pretty full when we did go see it. It is quite simple. It was, I do believe, the first movie, if not one of the first, that had THX. And the sound was incredible. I still remember hearing the walker when it was brought down, coming from the right side, and the whole theater rubbing, and just rumbling, and it hitting the ground, and then it's just amazing sound to it. It's fantastic. But anyway, getting away from that. As for Disney Star Wars, I've only seen one. I actually owned it on Blu-ray, and I've never even watched it. It's probably still in its cellophane, because when I bought the Blu-rays of the originals, they threw that in, probably because they couldn't sell it. But anyway, that one I saw, Force Awakens. I just about called it something else. Seen that once, and only once. I'll probably never watch it again. After watching it, it was a meh movie. It's horrible. Bad storytelling. But I figured, hey, they're trying to set up a story, so we'll give it a break. The second one, Rian Johnson's Catastrophe. I made it only to 10 minutes, because I think that's how long it takes to get to the one point. I shut it off. It was garbage. What that point was, the your mama joke. As far as I made it into that movie, I will never watch it again. I don't care. I mean, the last one for this series is coming out in, 5 days? 4 days? It's the 14th today. It's coming out, the 19th? And I don't think I could care any less. I have no interest in seeing it whatsoever. Because you clowns ruined it. You could have fixed it. You actually could have fixed it. Off the top of my head. From someone who builds cars and does not write stories. You know how you could have fixed it? And you could have really made people look at the beginning of the movie funny. You could have redone the scene where Rey hands Luke the lightsaber. And how could have you done that? You could have had Rey wake up from a dream, walk up to Luke, hand the lightsaber to Luke, Luke look at her, and then grab the lightsaber. Instead of tossing it over his shoulder, toss it maybe to the left or to the right and put it up in a crack, in a crevice up on the mountain. Look at her and say, when you can retrieve that, that's when I will teach you how to use that. Simple, really quick, right there. That would have freaked people out. Then you could have, what would have been good, in my opinion, is if you would have said, where is the other? I was expecting and sensing 2. And then you could have had Finn come up. Then you could have gone on to his story, how he's on this island training Jedis, not as a hermit. And what we saw as the previous film was the Dark Force manipulating her mind to try to show her things that weren't all that great, that everybody died. You could have gone a lot of different ways with that. Something original. But no, although the dream thing is not really original, I know it was done on other things, but that's how, in my opinion, you could have probably healed a lot of the fandom that way. Because at first, there's a lot of us who are not going to go see this movie that's coming out now. But if we would have heard people say, oh man, it's got a hell of a twist to it right at the beginning from the get-go, more people would have been interested in. You probably would have had several of them going back. But like I said, I build cars. I don't write movies. Maybe I should. Maybe that's what I should do with this channel. Maybe I will do that. Not write movies, but write stories. Anyway, it's Danny D. My 2 cents on the upcoming Star Wars, the Disney trilogy, which has been horrible. Absolutely horrible. Horrible writing. Horrible characters. And I won't even go into what I think of some of the characters. But anyway, that's all I have for now, folks. Enjoy the week.